Thank you. So students, you are urged first, even before, for institutional candidates, for private candidates, before you begin your studies, kindly consult the timetable. It will assist you to avoid revising or preparing for two exams that will be happening at the same time. For instance, if you have financial accounting and counseling and coaching, you will not be able to sit for both subjects because they are being administered at the same time. So first thing, exam timetable. And on the exam timetable, we have provided some of the basic guidelines on how the booking should be done. And much of these guidelines here, it's what I'm going to demonstrate. The easiest way to launch to our student portal is through our website. That is the easiest way. So once you log into our website, you'll find the option at the far top right corner, student portal, indicated student portal. From there, once you click there, you will land on the student portal site from where you'll be able to load or log into your account and proceed with the booking process. It's the same process even for those who aspire to register. You first create an account and submit your application. It is approved, and you become a student and you continue with the rest of the processes. So once you are in the student portal, you'll be allowed to log in to your account. So in this case, I like to give out a disclaimer that this being a live demonstration, I'll be using random student accounts for the sake of this demonstration. So kindly, just in case your name pops up. However, this is a test instance, so none of your data, just in case I use your account, none of your data is being interfered with. So once you land into your student portal dashboard, and just to give a brief very quickly on this dashboard so that then students get to understand, it gives a summary. Like in this case, you can see the students has registered for one course. The student has 7 exemptions. The student has not booked for any exam. If the exam has been booked and it was booked through the portal, it will highlight. The student has done 10 or has attempted 10 papers so far, or has had 10 attempts, not necessarily 10 papers, but 10 paper attempts. And on this, as a student, you are able to access various services, your student account, booked examinations, exempted papers. You can see the papers deferred, examination withdrawn, examination results here. Then once you filter on this filter, you're able to download your result slip. We are no longer issuing the old school result slips we used to, sorry to call it old school, or the former result slips. So now they are digitized. What you do is just you download and present your result slip for authentication if need be. And then even when you're paying, you have balances. You want to check whether you have a balance, renewal balance and all that. You click on student balance and you're able to check your balance. And in any case, you have a balance, even if it's 1 shilling, you'll have an icon on the next to the balance inakuashiria where to make that payment. So on examination booking, on the left-hand side, on the main navigation panel, you are to select examination booking icon. As you can see on my cursor, click on examination booking, then student booking, repeat examination booking again. You will land to student account, click on book exam. Kindly mute your mic. George, kindly assist me to mute those who are not muted. Thank you. So this is the first phase of the step 1 of 4 of the booking process. So here you will have to highlight the examination series. So that one is automated. You only find one series that is available. Mode of study. We have got 3 modes of studies. You are either an institutional student, in this case, you are enrolled and you are attending classes in one of the accredited CHRP training institutions. We have private. Here you are completely, fully studying on your own as a private candidate. And this is where we mostly encourage that if you're a student, private candidate, and particularly if you are taking the project, then we require you to come on board and to start booking early in advance so that we have that information and we are able to guide you and even assign you supervisors in record time. And then we have the blend. This is basically a mix of private and institutional. It's much allowed. This was just to cure where if a student feels you got 4 units you are undertaking and there is 1 unit you feel it's a bit technical, you would like to, to have a tutor and you wish to join in a school or in a college. So in that case, you are allowed to mix. This was also to cure. We had, it's one way we were responding to feedback to students who had failed. Students were indicating that I have failed in a paper. I had attended class and I wish not to attend class. I just want to study on my own so that I can do the exam. So then the blend option comes in handy. However, all these options, there is no option that is much better than the other. You are just advised to select the option that suits you better. So therefore, let's pick the private. If you are a private candidate, you will then, once you pick private, click on renew and book on the bottom right corner. You'll be taken to the next stage where you are required to select the exams that you wish to book for. Now, this is where the progression rule applies. So here you are to book for a minimum of 3 papers. Why the board came up with the minimum number of papers, we have had cases from our records. We have analyzed the data and we have realized there are students who just engage. One decides to book for 1 paper after the other. So mtu kama huyo ako na 22 units or 19 units and they are doing 1 paper. You can imagine how long they are going to stay around. We want students also to transit. As a board, there is a responsibility to come up with the rules and the regulations of how the exam is going to be structured and to be done. Just like other examination bodies, the courses are done per level. So here we decided that the course will be done at least 3 units, and these 3 units are the minimum or the total number of units per level. However, our progression rule is on unit progression basis, not per part or per level, which I will explain more on that. So here, you are required to pick the papers that you plan to book. So here it's where I kindly request you to take note that do not pick private candidates, especially because I believe institutional candidates, those who may not, this may escape you, you may get advice from the institutions. And that is at HRMPEB, we're also setting up a desk and office that is purely dedicated to private candidates so that then you are able to call in at any time for guidance. So if you try to book units and skip the upper level units, the system will not allow you to proceed to next. As you can see from this, the system is able to tell you that you must pick the preceding list unit. And in this case, it is unit number 12. So even if I picked 12 again and I skip, the system will inform me that I must pick 14. So once you get this error, you are required to click reload all papers. Click on reload all papers. If you don't click reload, it's just a button to refresh so that you refresh that error and you clean it up. If you don't clean it up, then you are not able to progress to next. Assuming I want to book just 1 unit to proceed to the next, the system will also bring you an error that the minimum number of units allowed is 3. So kindly be advised even as you prepare so that you are not shocked at the point of booking for exam. Even if you tried picking 2, still the system will bring you an error. The only period it will not bring you an error It's if you have less than 3 units remaining. So you don't need to worry. There are those asking, I have 1, 2 units, and you are saying minimum 3. Yes, minimum 3, but the system is configured to look through to see what you have that is remaining. And at this point, the system also populates any paper that you are not exempted, any paper that you have not been examined, or any paper that you have been examined and failed. So any paper that you have been examined and passed or you already exempted will not populate at this point. So for those students, particularly those who have been registered under the revised curriculum, under the CHRP, or you applied through the portal, you've been awarded exemptions, you need to activate your exemptions by making that payment. Very late for you to pay those exemptions. Assuming it could be, there is possibility, like in this account I'm using to demonstrate, this student has been exempted unit number 12, hypothetically speaking. So if this student is exempted unit number 12 and they have not paid the exemption fee, the unit will populate here and you will not be able to book for exam for the upper units that you are attending class or studying until you free this unit up by making that exemption fee payment. It is only when you pay, that is when you activate the exemptions that you've been granted. Otherwise, they remain at that. So therefore, now assuming we are following the procedure on progression booking, then you are to submit the papers to move to the next step. And in this case, yes, it's good. The system is also reminding me on something that I had forgotten. Your real case, paper number 17 and 12, they are happening at the same time. Allow me to go to the timetable. This is why I was saying, kindly, the first thing you need to consult is the timetable. You can see here on Tuesday, 13th, we have employee resourcing and leadership and corporate governance happening at the same time. And that's why I picked these two accounts specifically for ease of demonstration. So these two papers, if are happening at the same time, the system is configured also to inform you or to block you from continuing to book for those two papers. So therefore, you cannot progress. Now, that then becomes very difficult, like in this case, for this student to progress to book without picking this unit number 12 or employee resourcing. So then it means that if this student wants to book for 6 papers, they will only be forced to pick unit number 12 and 14 and skip 17 like that. So these are challenges that we anticipated, and we have an antidote for this. Any student who will experience such challenge, kindly reach out to us and we'll be able to pick it up from there and to assist you to book for the upper papers that above unit number 17. And in this case, you are encouraged, if the two units are clashing, you are encouraged to book the lower level unit, that is number 12, so that next time you do 17. But then, as I said, we'll be able to assist you to bypass that progression rule from our end. But that will be done on case-by-case basis, where we are able to prove that indeed it is the timetable that is blocking you from following the laid down examination booking procedures. Where a student will, based on their own, will want or you wish that you skip a paper and it's not clashing, such cases are not allowed. So now, from this point, because the way the system is configured, because you can't even book two, that such student will not be able to proceed until we assist them. So allow me to log into a different account so that I'm able to proceed and demonstrate to the next stages. In this case, I'll use a different account to be able to navigate to the next step of choosing the examination center. So assuming you initiated a booking, for one reason or the other, you didn't complete. The next time you log in, that data will be stored automatically. However, when you log in, the system will inform you that you have an existing booking application. So in that case, and also we have also guided you that on the sidebar of the navigation panel, you will locate the drafts. So in that case, you are supposed to go to drafts and examination booking process, select the drafts option, and the system will direct you to where you are able to edit your application. So in this case, you click in on edit. But if your intention, you had only remained, or your intention is to pay, or you had remained with the payment only, then you click on proceed to pay. But if you wish to make any change to your booking, then you click on edit application. So we are at this point. So this is a case where the candidate has only one unit remaining. As I said, when you reload, the system will give you the available papers that you have not met the requirements. So therefore, in this case, there is only one paper. Sorry. So sometimes you may encounter, it's normal, it's IT. As you can see in this account, there is only one paper, but the system is insisting that you must pick at least 3 papers. So what you do in that case, you just refresh, you are able to navigate to the next phase. And the next phase here is mode of examinations. We have got 2 modes of examinations, physical and online. So you pick the one that suits you. The physical ones, it is the paper-based examinations. Online is going to be the online examinations virtually. And this time round, this is an exam where you are going to, unlike last time, what we did because of the queries that were raised regarding online examinations that were compromising the quality of the examinations, we have addressed them. And much of these approaches that we have put in place will be able to communicate. And therefore, we'll pick from the data for those who have picked online examinations. We will also we do an induction on how this exam is going to be done. But I just do a brief one in this presentation. So here if you choose physical, the system will require you to pick from which county, assuming you are in Mombasa. You choose the examination zone, and then it's Mombasa town. So if you're in Mombasa, and maybe tomorrow if we have another center in, let's say, South Coast, Kunda there, we'll have those centers populate here. But for now, if a student is in Mombasa, we only have one exam center. That is in Mombasa town. I think it's around Moi Avenue, Harbour House at the College of Human Resource. So equally, you'll be able to pick the examination center. Not the exam center of your choice, but you pick the available options as given by the system. Once you're at that point, you click select center and then click next. The system will inform you that the center has been successfully submitted. Then you click next. At this point of next, we have got you agree, called the declaration section. You agree to the terms and conditions, and some of these are just examination rules as they exist or as they may change. The summary of these examination rules, it's found on your examination sitting timetable. Other than the master timetable, the overall timetable that I have demonstrated earlier on, each candidate will be issued with an individual authority to sit for exam or a timetable which will reflect the number of units and the time of the papers that you're going to sit for. So the next stage is payment. At this point, you'll get an invoice Once you get the invoice, you are able either to download the invoice or print it for your records. Then once you are content, you proceed to payment. So at this point, you get a summary of all the payments that are done. The figure or the amount on the invoice is determined by various items. Number one, the mode of examination, the mode of study. So if you are a private candidate, your bill will be a bit different from that of an institutional candidate. Institutional candidates are not charged private candidate administration fee, but private candidates are charged, for example. Also, other than that, the mode of examination, if you pick online, the online examination will attract an additional charge, online exam administration fee of 10,000 per sitting. So other than that, the examination amount, if you book exam during late booking window, the amount will also reflect, which is 25% of the normal exam charge. The invoice or the payment summary, the total amount of fee that you are going to pay at the end of it here, will also check if you have any balance. Like in this account, you can see the student has a balance of 14,700. So therefore, that balance is also included. What else? Private candidate administration fee, you can see because the candidate picked is a private candidate. Project supervision fee item also will appear here if you are a private candidate undertaking the project. Only then will you be billed this item here. Equally, as I mentioned, the online examination administration fee will also you will be billed if you choose the online examination option as well. So therefore, at this point, you click on proceed to payment. However, you are first required to input the mobile number here. So you input the mobile number, then proceed to payment. At this point, the payment, the gateway is through the eCitizen. You can see here on my link, you can see it has switched from our website link to PesaFlow or eCitizen. So then here you are to pick the payment mode that you wish to make. If you select M-Pesa, it will again inform you to input your mobile number and then click on send. Allow me just quickly as I conclude on this item. Use a live instance, which I can see some bit of change, so that then you interact, you get to, I demonstrate exactly what you get while making this payment. So currently, this has been updated as shown on your screen. You can see the total fee that the students required here. It's the booking fee plus the balances and all that. You select the payment method that suits you, whether it is the bank, RTGS, or other banks are also part of this RTGS method. If it's M-Pesa, you select M-Pesa, proceed. Here, it's what I like you to take note that if you're paying through, there are two M-Pesa options here that you use. The instant STK push method, you are to click, you've been guided that click here to receive M-Pesa. So if you click complete, this complete is only available for this second option. But first, this one is where you initiate, and all you need to do on your phone is to enter the PIN. So once you initiate that, you input the number from which the payment is going to be made, then click initiate payment. The PIN will pop up on your phone requiring you to just enter the PIN. Other than that, the second option, if you experience, sometimes we are having downtimes, realize this is government payment gateway. And again, on the link, as I highlighted up there, you can see it is payments.ecitizen.or.go.ke. Some of these downtimes, as an examination board, we may not have much control on this. So if you experience a downtime, with this payment option of the STK push, you are allowed to use the second option, whereby you will do the manual payment, the pay bill number. This code is very specific. As you see, this code here is configured to this amount. So if here you make a payment of 15,000 or 20,000 instead of 16,950, that payment will decline. You can only pay the exact figure. That is how this code is configured. Once you make that payment and it goes through, then you click complete. So that marks the end of the whole booking process, but I've only demonstrated for a private candidate. So quickly, I'll only demonstrate for institutional and a private candidate at that stage alone, but not to the very end of the process to payment, so that then you understand if you select private or institutional, what other information are you required to provide. So at this point, as I've gotten to payment, please note that if you make the payment, then that application is considered complete and you will not complete the booking process. Leave it open until when you are sure, so that then you avoid incurring unnecessary costs in form of examination deferment for reasons such as something that you will have edited. Even as we are happy when you defer exam on other grounds that are beyond your control, but not on grounds that are within your control that you ought to have prevented, and then you end up incurring a cost. Because the moment your application is processed, you can only change it through deferment or withdrawal of the unit. So to avoid that, make sure that you are very sure of the booking before you submit it. Just a minute, I demonstrate on an institutional student what you are to do, or the additional information that you are supposed to provide. So in this case, edit application, it will take you to the first page again of the process. Here, under mode of study, you select institutional if you're in class. Then you'll see that the second option that comes up is you are required to indicate your training institution. Make sure you select the training institution accordingly where you are attending class. And please note that the data you give here will be subject to verification between the board and the training institutions. Equally, if you pick the blend option, you will also be required to select the training institution where we want to know where are you blending at. If it's that 1 or 2, 3 units out of the 6 that you are attending class, where are you attending class at? So for blend or institutional, you must pick the training institution accordingly. So if you are a blend student, you will be allowed to, you must select at least 1 unit where you are blending at. So if you can't select, that's what I want to demonstrate quickly here as I conclude. Assuming this candidate is taking the blend mode of study, you'll be required then to pick the institution, renew, and the book. Unlike the other booking that I demonstrated, you will notice that in this blend option, we have got two rows. There is this one row here, and there is a training institution row. So here, if you blend, if you are doing all these 6 units or you want to sit for exam and you are blending some units here, the requirement is that if you choose that option, you must at least pick at least one unit which you are attending institutional training for the system to allow you to go to next. Secondly, you cannot again pick all of them that you are blending all these units. Otherwise, that becomes pure institutional based candidate. Equally, the system will not allow you. You can only pick either. You cannot pick all, and you cannot miss to pick at least one. And I think that marks the end of my presentation on examination booking. I would like to just demonstrate very quickly on two things. Number one, online examinations, what is expected of you as an online candidate. And then secondly, I will talk on what we call assessment. So online, all candidates who will book for online examination will be required to abide by some regulations or rather measures that the board has introduced to ensure that the online examination meets the required standards.